Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com. Welcome to From the Eyes of Wisdom, where we pair an experienced elder from Christa Senior Living with a passionate King's High School student ready to launch into the world. Here's Sherri Lynn.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to From the Eyes of Wisdom. I am your host, Sherri Lynn, and with me in the studio, I have Jim and I have Adeline. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Yes, thank you for letting us come here. I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Yes, thank you.
A little nervous. That's okay. We're going to have a good time. Adeline, you are a junior right now.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tell us a little bit about what you do in school, like what activities you're a part of. You have a job. What do you do?
At school, I'm a part of the DECA program and girls basketball, soccer,
What is
and
DECA?
golf. DECA is like marketing for high school students.
Okay.
You go and compete and do different kind of situations
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
And then basketball, soccer, and golf.
So you're an athlete.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You have a job?
Yes. I work at Harbor Square Kid Zone, and I watch kids while their parents go work out.
Watch kids.
Yeah.
And you enjoy that.
Yes, I love my job. It's
Really?
awesome. Yes.
Okay, that is laudable. I don't know if as a junior in high school, Jim, not sure I would have been taking care of kids. Okay, so do you know what you would like to do when you graduate? Do you have an idea of that yet?
Slightly. I
Okay.
have different ideas. I know I would definitely enjoy doing something working with kids.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a child life specialist or speech pathology. I could see myself being a teacher, kind of anything working with kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand you also have perhaps an idea of missions.
Oh,
and-
yeah. I
Okay.
definitely would want a minor in missions.
And
if I
have
just-
been on mission trips? or?
When I was younger,
Okay.
I went to the Dominican Republic, and then I was supposed to go this year, but ended up not being able to. But I'm going to go next year to Kenya.
Okay, to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Jim, you lived is it Peru?
Yes.
30 years as a missionary.
My wife and I were missionaries in Peru for approximately 30 years. yes.
Okay, all right. So you have a lot to say about missions for 30
I
years.
have some experience, yes.
Okay.
I don't consider myself very wise or a great counselor, but specific questions I may be able to answer.
You don't that's interesting to me. Can I ask you why you don't consider yourself very wise? I think 30 years in the mission field, I can't imagine what you've seen, what you lived, I went on one missions trip, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Yes.
It was a beautiful experience, but I had such a respect and awe for people who live their lives that way and know that I could never. It was to the country of Niger in Africa. And again, I'm a words person. I don't have the words for it. So I'm interested in someone who lived their life for 30 years with your family. Obviously, you have, if I remember, 3 kids.
Yes, that's correct.
So your kids were on the mission field with you.
Yes.
So there's has to be wisdom there. You lived your life as a missionary for 30 years.
It was quite normal for me, in a sense. I lived in Cuba with my parents for 3 years, and I saw what life was like in Latin America, and I saw a lot of poverty, and that wasn't particularly strange to me.
So your parents were missionaries
Yes.
in Cuba. And so in Peru, tell me what your life was like as a missionary. What kind of things did you do as a missionary in Peru?
It was quite varied depending on where we were and what our assignment was. Our first term, 4 years, we were in the city of Iquitos on the Amazon River, and we were pastoring in a church, a kind of an interim pastor situation, and also we traveled a lot on the river in a speedboat doing vacation Bible schools and teaching for different small groups along the river that we had contact with.
Wow.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And had some adventures doing that.
Adeline? Speedboating vacation Bible school sounds.
Sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing, Jim.
and sleeping under a mosquito net in the church, which was just an open building oftentimes, but the mosquito nets kept the bats and the mosquitoes off you pretty much, except you had to, when you got into the net, then you had to look around and make sure there were no mosquitoes inside with you.
That would freak me out.
So I'm interested, Jim, because if I remember, Adeline, you would like to be married young. Is that correct?
Preferably
younger. In your early 20s, you'd like to start your life out married younger. Okay. And you got married younger, Jim. Were you in your 20s?
Yes, I was just lacking a week to be 24 when I got married.
Okay. And did your wife want a life as a missionary? Was that something that she was interested in?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yeah, that was a condition of our getting married, that she would have to be willing to do that, and she was. She had that goal as well.
Wow. So were you in seminary?
At Seattle Pacific College it was at that time.
Okay.
And I had been to Bible school, and I was preparing to be a missionary. Mm-hmm. I wanted to become a teacher, which I did here in Washington State. But my wife was in the nursing program at Seattle Pacific, and she also wanted to be a missionary. So we got together. She was leading a gospel team out of Seattle Pacific, and we'd go every Saturday night to the Harbor Light Salvation Army Mission down on 2nd and Yesler, and held the service for the men that they would take in off the streets every night. So we learned a lot that way and had a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you, how did you know that, what's your wife's name? Beth. I was going to ask you, how did you know she was the one? But it sounds like you guys were made for each other, ministry-wise at least. It sounds like you had the same kind of heart. You have the same kind of heart for ministry.
That's correct. She was the leader of this team, and she recruited me to sing in a quartet, and we would
Jim.
Preach and teach at the mission every Saturday night, and we'd have coffee afterwards with Major, Salvation Army Major, and his wife and the other personnel there. We enjoyed that a lot, and it was a very good experience.
Sounds like an exciting life.
It was. It was interesting.
It sounds interesting. So can you tell Adeline, what kind of guy should she be looking for?
I don't think I'm a very good marriage counselor.
Well, no, I bet you can tell her you sound like a man of character and strength. And I think that you could tell her as she is heading out in life, this is the kind of fella you should probably be looking for.
She looks like a very adaptable girl. Mm-hmm. You have to be flexible, adaptable, and willing to learn and willing to try new things. And you do that all the time when you're a missionary. We became teachers and taught all kinds of Bible courses and other kinds of courses at the Bible schools where we taught. And we traveled quite a bit in the countryside and had experiences in the villages along the river and in the mountains of Peru, and then traveled on the coast of Peru as well. We covered a good part of the area of Peru, and just you have to be flexible, have to be willing to try all kinds of foods, willing to try all kinds of different experiences, and get outside your comfort zone in many cases.
Adeline, what do you think?
I'm definitely up for it. I feel like I'm a pretty flexible person. I like trying new foods, so it could be exciting.
What in your heart made you want to do missions, or did you see something, hear something? What gave you that leaning?
I feel like I've just always been someone who likes to serve and help people. I love like gift giving. Like that's my favorite thing whenever I have a friend whose birthday is coming up, like picking out something that I know they would like and like something that would be special to them. Just doing things. I like making other people happy because I feel like there are a lot of people that aren't super positive, and I'm a very positive person. So if I can make a positive impact on someone and make them feel happier or more joy, I feel like that would just make me happy.
And that sounds great to me. A very winsome attitude and a characteristic that will make you a lot of friends and open a lot of doors for you.
Oh, that's great. Winsome attitude. I like that. I'm sure that's necessary in the mission field.
It certainly is.
Were there any times in your work, Jim, where you felt like, whoo, Lord, this is hard?
There were very difficult experiences. We had some major problems in the church where we were working when we first went to Peru, caused by former missionaries who came back with a different doctrinal position.
Ooh.
And were doing their best to divide the church, although they wouldn't have said that, but that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had to struggle through that for several years, and finally the Lord gave us a solution, but it didn't come from me. It was just the Lord gave it to us.
How did you, because this podcast is also about helping younger people know there are obstacles that come, and knowing, hey, look, God is there too. Like, this is how you get to know him, is not just through all of these positive, yay times, but these difficult, struggling times where you're crying out to God, like, Lord, help us. So even I jolted a little bit when you said several years of that, of, people other missionaries who come back, and that's a several year struggle. How are you and God working that out where you're like, God, please help?
Well, I was very timid and shy, and I didn't like to confront problems, and I didn't confront it for some time. But finally, when I was pretty much desperate, the Lord just gave me a solution that seemed to work. And it didn't come from me, but I went through with it, and the leaders of the church followed me in it, and so we were able to save the situation, and that church is still a strong Alliance church today.
That's amazing. That I wonder, Adeline, let me ask you this. What do you think right now in life is valuable?
I would say most relationships, and just being able to have relationships with people and build strong relationships. Because I think about soon I'll be leaving for college, and the friends that I have here, I'll have to try to keep that intact if we don't go to the same place and stuff like that. So I feel like relationships are very valuable.
Jim, in this part of life, having lived what you've lived, a very full, sounds like exciting, wonderful life, what would you say is valuable? What would you tell her? You know what? Having lived this many years, done all of these things, this is what is valuable.
I would support her in the idea of maintaining and deepening her relationships. I was not very good at that, but I can see the value of it. And as I get older, I try to do a little bit better.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. Because some people would say, hey, I was fantastic. To say, you know what? I didn't do all that great, but I'm doing better, and I'm trying to do better. And then to encourage her to do better is wonderful.
I do not feel like I was a great success, but I do feel like the Lord did use me. And we see now on Facebook many of our former students who are pastors and have had a whole career of serving God and have been faithful. The marriages that have been successful, that have persevered. Strong marriages are not common in Latin America. But God has done some wonderful things, and that is very satisfying.
One of the questions I ask about a successful life, and when I was listening to your pre-interview, you were talking about not really having a plan. And Adeline, do you feel like, I'm not going to ask you, do you have a plan for your life? For those of you listening, she shook her head like, don't ask me if I have a plan because I don't have one. Okay, so no, I do not. Okay, so that's okay. What I was going to ask is, do you feel pressure to have a plan as far as where you're going to college, what you want to study, who you want to be, what you want to be?
Not really. My
Okay.
parents do a good job of like not putting any pressure
That's
on me
wonderful.
and my siblings. They're very like open, and like I have a great relationship with both of my parents, and so they do a great job of just like, like think about it, but you obviously don't need to know right now, but it's definitely something that should be in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about friends and no?
Not really. I
Okay.
mean, there are definitely friends of mine that do have plans, but they're not like, oh, you need to figure this out too, because I have it figured out. They're like, oh, like I can see why, you're still questioning this or thinking about this and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So Jim, I'm interested, being at this part of life, not having really had a plan, but seeming to have had this, what I heard someone describe, and I've been using it recently because I really love the way she said it, a long walk with God. I love the way she put that. Like, I just had a long walk with God. And it sounds like that's what your life has been. It's just a long walk with God. Do you look back and say, oh, I wish I would have planned things a little more? Or do you say, you know what, that all kind of worked together for good?
The basic plan, God arranged it, and it has been good.
Yeah.
I could have done things better many places, but I can't fault the general trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah. I had someone say in another season, I may question God, but I won't blame him. And I thought, wow, that was really good. Like I may say, I don't know, but you know what? God kind of worked that out.
He does.
He does.
He understands us, and he knows our weaknesses, and he knows how to help us. So Adeline will do well under God's direction.
I love that. Is there something that people think is valuable right now, or something that people think is important, the culture thinks is important, that you would tell her, but that's not that important? People kind of look at and say that you need this or you need that or you need to do this or you need to do that. And you would look over the span of your life and say, no, that's not, you don't have to think that's important.
I don't know of anything specific, but I guess I would say don't be too tied to cultural trends or the attitudes or fads of the moment, because they will pass, but the Lord is stable. He doesn't change.
The Lord is stable is good. He is, isn't he? Even when we're wishy-washy.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, we may go up and down, but the Lord he's stable. So in those 30 years, how did you know towards the end, okay, this is kind of the end of this journey?
Well, I wasn't well, so we had to leave Peru before we had expected to.
Okay.
But
Was that discouraging for you?
to an extent, yes. But when we came back here to Washington State after having been away for so long,
Yeah.
we didn't know what to expect. But God opened a door for us, many doors, and almost we could say a second career of working in churches and being Spanish interpreters and translators and all kinds of activities like that we never expected.
That's God working it all out, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. I think I heard someone say in one of their pre-interviews about your young life, when you have it, that it's not, you don't have to have it all planned, but you're just connecting dots. And you're connecting, your younger life is, and you're just connecting dots to who God is making you. And you don't have to have the full picture yet, that the dots are connecting, and you can trust God with the full picture. And I think that your life is a testament to that.
Well, that's certainly true. I didn't know the picture, but the Lord led us step by step.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds, and that He continues to do. You continue to do that work, right? Translating.
Yes, we're still doing Spanish editing. I just finished a little project this morning.
That's so. Do you ever see yourself saying, "Okay, that's enough," or do you just get joy from it?
Oh, we enjoy doing it, but, we do it as much as we can. My health isn't too good, and sometimes I can't work very much, but do what I can.
Yeah.
Keep busy. You don't want to be idle, just sitting around trying to twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah. Adeline, let me ask you this. Going to college, are you concerned? There's a lot of people and some students who go to college and their faith gets a little wavery, and then sometimes their faith, maybe they lose it or they deconstruct or whatever. Are those concerns in your head for yourself sometimes?
I think about it, but then I also think that when I do go to college, I definitely want to go to a place that has a community that believes in Jesus. And so like going to a Christian college should definitely be a goal of mine, especially because if I do want to minor in missions, I don't think you can do that at like a public university. And I don't know, like I talk with my brother all the time because he's in college and he's like, oh, like they have a like youth, or I guess it wouldn't be youth anymore. It'd be like college ministry that they do on Wednesday nights that you would love or stuff like that. So
okay. Yeah. What's your biggest fear?
Probably like getting there and then not liking it and not enjoying it.
Okay.
And I'm a big believer in is if you start something, you have to finish it out, whether you like it or not. So then I'm just like having to finish out something that I'm not really enjoying.
Well, I guess there are two sides to that. Being a disciplined person and sticking to your goals is very valuable. But it's also wise to be able to step back and say, this is not for me and I need to change before you go too far. So both sides have value.
Yeah, that's very good. What's the best part of being this age, Jim?
I guess I would say the best part is being free of a lot of the constraints of a younger person. I don't have to go to work every day.
Lord, get me there. Amen. I like that. I've asked this question before. It's a little, but I'm going to ask. Do you fear death?
No. I don't know how it'll come or when, but the Lord will be with us all the way.
Yeah. Do you think about it?
Oh, yeah, we have to be aware. But again, it's in God's hands.
So there's a trust there, and it's just give us this day our daily bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Lord does arrange every day.
Yeah.
He knows the number of our days.
Yeah. I wanted you to hear that, Adeline, because there'll be days where you'll be anxiety-ridden, you'll be worried, you'll be, what am I going to do? What is this? And there'll be finals, there'll be boyfriends, there'll be bills, there'll be kids, there'll be so. And I want you to remember that you sat across from a man who lived his life serving God and didn't necessarily think he was a success, but he was, because he could see it on Facebook, and that he lived his life loving the Lord. And here, loving the Lord said, you know what? God knows, doesn't fear death, knows God has his times in his hands. And that at this point, if you could feel that way, that whatever you may be worried about at 22, it's probably okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I love these interviews.
God can handle it, no matter what it is.
You know what? That's a perfect way to end this. Usually, I have the young person, I'm getting an index card for everyone listening, write on a card, here's the index card for Adeline and a pen, a piece of wisdom that they're going to take through their life. To her wedding, she's going to take this to the maternity room where her first child. She's going to take this to her doctoral thesis. She's going to take this everywhere. No pressure. I was going to tell you to give her a nugget of wisdom, Jim, but God can handle it is good. If you have another one, go ahead. But
that'll be sufficient.
That'll be it. Yeah. I'm going to write that down for myself. God can handle it. He can, no matter what, right?
Amen. Amen. We really need to trust him.
God can handle it. She's going to write that down, and I'm going to ask you to sign that for her so that she can remember, and we're going to date it. And she's going to remember that you told her that. And no matter what she's facing in life as she goes down this road of life and embarks on this wonderful walk with God that you're going to have, you're going to be reminded, Jim told you, God can handle it. Right, Jim?
Oh, all right.
All right. Jim's going to sign that. And while he's doing that, I want to tell everyone, thank you for joining us on this episode of From the Eyes of Wisdom. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening. We just wanted to take a minute to let you know that just like you and your family, Purposely is also part of a family, the Krista family of ministries. Krista helps kids and teens learn and grow in their faith at King Schools and Miracle Ranch Camp. And Krista shares Jesus with people in the poorest, most remote places through World Concern. Krista Senior Living is a community of love and care, and Krista Media is a place of hope on the radio. God is changing lives through these 5 ministries, and Krista is on mission to share the good news of Jesus. To learn more, visit Krista.org.